Welcome to the bold analysis. Where I just followed two interviews of Natembea, the one of NTV and Citizen, and I can tell you that the issue of banditry is deep rooted. By the way, I want to urge you. That was just by the way. Just follow up that interview. Go and search for that interview. Utasikia anasema wale ambao walikuwa wanaongea na rais alikuwa anaongelesha, unaangalia chini ndio wanatoa pesa ya wale mabandits. It's not a laughing matter anyway. Families are really losing lives there. And we believe that the situation will be arrested. Back to business. Politics of the day. On Saturday, President challenged the governors to find ways and creative or other best practices of upscaling the revenue stream at the county level so that they can deviate, or rather they don't they reduce the over-reliance on the allocation from the national government. That was during the Governors Summit in Naivasha. In this video, I want us to go straight to Mombasa, and I'll point out what, according to me, is double standard as far as Mombasa port reversal is concerned. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our video. I want to say thank you for those who are supporting us from every part of the globe, for those who are supporting this channel in kind, finance, and everything. Thank you very much for your support. We don't take it for granted. Attorney General, the former Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, has rejected a call, or rather a request by the county government of Mombasa to impose levy on the containers. Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir, who is very close to the president in their working relationship, was bringing a very valid argument that the county, being that Mombasa port sits in the in the county of Mombasa, the county should be allowed to get a share of the levy from the transactions going on there. And according to Abdul Swamad, that it is only Mombasa is the only city that do not rather benefit from the port activities all over the world. The one South Africa, Djibouti, the Tanzania, the cities around that place benefit directly. So he's been trying it. And today, he initiated that process early this January. Today on 12th, Attorney General said that even though that discussion was going on now at the ministry level, of course with now Murkomen, but has been rejected. With now experts now wondering why that is not being allowed, even though the port is also supposed to benefit the residents of Mombasa. It's now right to explain to some of us who, maybe some of you who are not privy to some of these port stories, is when the activities, or rather when the dry port was reverted back to Mombasa from Naivasha, the premise was that the people, or rather the city dwellers, the county dwellers, were going to benefit from the operations of the city because activities, or rather operations, were going to boom in that county. But that has been far from it. And if the county would be allowed to benefit directly, then they will stand to boost the economy of the region, or rather the economy of the city. But that has been rejected. You know, Kericho has tea, which is an forex earner for the national government, but the county has a share. My second county, yes, Narok County, I studied in my Samara, so Narok County is my second county, was my second county after Siaya. No, I went to Siaya, Narok, then Nairobi. So my second county, the beautiful county of Narok, has Masai Mara National Park, which is an income earner, the largest tourist site for this country, but the county benefits, which is also a national asset. But the Mombasa port, they're being told that the port is a national asset, and so the county must keep off. Now, why? How are the counties then going to find creative ways of making their own money, or rather connecting their own levies, as was directed by the president there in Russia? If we are all going to cage maybe some capital assets as exclusively government, national government assets. That's the question that everyone else is asking. It is not new. Hassan JOHO tried it. And in fact, when I was reading it, that he wanted to impose a levy of $2 on every ton of cargo, which would have earned the county government around 52 million euros a year, based on the 26 million tons of cargo that the port handles per year. Now, Nasir, and by that time, when JOHO tried it, that was in the 2016-2017 financial year, it didn't go through. So Nasir also brought it up, and in fact, he did public participation at the county level. Then the in the budget process now at the county level, they tried to put it in. But then what they decided to do is perhaps the $2 levy was more. So they were trying to negotiate with at the ministry level, so that even if it can reduce, but at least they get something. So totally, if the word that is coming from AG Muturi, suppose, is something to go by, then it means Mombasa are not going to put that levy. They're not going to bet it. Now, during JOHO's administration, the national government opposed the proposed levies, saying the port is a national asset and therefore any legislation by a county or any other body that contravenes this constitutional provision is null and void. That's what it is. Even though we know that most employees of the port stay there, no one will work there then stay in Nairobi unless they're senior managers. And so in terms of the labor, the county benefits from the labor income, because most of those who work are student dollars there. So in terms of residents, at least it keeps afloat that. But then the county also is saying that when they collect the levy, they will be in a position to mainstream that income into some priority areas that will actually boost city development. It looks a good idea, but I don't know why it cannot sink. And I just want to put some 3 points in relation to this. Naivasha port reversal back to Mombasa will not yield any fruit if this is not effected. Yes, that's it. Now, Nasir is getting this shocker, but it would be better, and in fact, in the premise of making sure that Mombasa benefits well, then they would have considered this so that the port of Mombasa reversal, the residents of Mombasa will actually feel that, okay, the port in Oduor, they felt that income. And I know that there is already legal framework on dependence and interdependence between the county and the national government. But then if the national government also wants to, of course, collection is a bit centralized. I don't think it's decentralized. But some of these national assets that sits in different counties, they should find framework, legal framework on how the county can also directly benefit. We look at, my dream will be a time when while the national budget is serviced from our taxes locally here, but what is at the counties? Counties can also have the capacity to collect their own revenues and in fact reduce the percentage that they require from the national government. When you listen to governors, you will know if you've been following that they've had a problem with the monthly remittance. The government, national government sends, I think, that money on 15th every month. I think it's around there, if I'm not wrong. Although there is a law that guides it. Devolution is normally guided by law quite a bit. In fact, laws on devolutions are very watertight, but then people find ways of maneuvering their own means. So we need to look at that so that counties that can't benefit from, like for example, now we're going to extract oil in Turkana. You know, there is power production that is also supposed to take place in those areas. So how are county governments not going to benefit? Because then it means they will not take it as their own, so that there would be project patriotism. Two, port process should benefit the city dwellers, and that will be a big priority. Nasir is working closely with President Ruto. That relationship is firm, but I think he must also be careful that he's not on the losing end. You know, sometimes when you are all about Mtukufu Rais, you can work blindly, and before you know, you are on the losing end. So I wish that with that rejection, it's coming from AG, who is advising government, but the county government was already negotiating with Waziri Murkomen. So the point is clear that if Nasir could pick up this with William Ruto, now that they are buddies and it's been close, they have a close working relationship, that will benefit the people. But if he's going to face such setbacks despite of that relationship, then really the working between county and national government is not really adding value. Even though I am saying we have to get legal framework, because if we just allow it, then other counties will not be at par with others. The same money in the port, national government is also serving other counties that are not close to the port. So we agree that the national government must carry the day, but also let's find ways that county can get a small share. That's my take.